let's talk about Possessor. So
Sure.
Possessor is another thing I've watched too many times. Possessor is directed and written by Brandon Cronenberg, and we're not going to spoil anything here, but the basic premise is that it involves a technology that allows an individual to be an assassin by having their consciousness transferred to another individual to do their kill. So that's pretty much what it is. So it's Andrea Riseborough in the lead role going into Christopher Abbott's character. There, that's what it's about. Matt, what'd you think?
That's what it's about. A lot of style, a lot of great style. I like antiviral, so Cronenberg, little Cronenberg works for me. But I like the movie. I'm just going to preface it by saying it is phantasmagorical. It's all that great stuff that you want from a mind melder. You're going to get all these little, we'll call them art house interludes where the camera gets freaky and there's just a bunch of images on screen that you can't decipher but are very unsettling. What kills me a little bit is there's not a lot of care put into developing the story at all, because this is visual forward, and I am one for visual forward. I am one for the Mandys of the world and things of that nature. I think like when I was going through, it was like Daniel Isn't Real, Mandy, movies like that. But you have to have some semblance of a narrative. So for me, it is a fun experiment in playing in somebody else's body and being a hitman and doing all that stuff, and great performances of visuals. I just think Cronenberg gets lost in the unknown of his story and never tries to find his way out.
Matt, I love you. I couldn't disagree more, though. I think the plot is actually very clear. And what did you refer to the visuals as? Like art house,
like phantasmagorical and like art house, kind of just freaky.
I think maybe you could describe them as art house freaky, but why that works is because all those visuals are crafted with purpose. That
that works. Yeah.
Experience. So like I'm always cool with somebody making visuals and style a high priority as long as it serves a purpose. And here I think it enhances the story tenfold. I got very, very obsessed with that technology, with the state of the world, and with how the state of the world can drive individuals to do this. I really appreciated, especially as someone who watches a lot of violent genre fare, where sometimes, like a kill happens and you move on to it. This really gets into someone's brain and kind of in a very like what was it again? Art house what?
Art house. I mean, it's like that art house freaky, under the skin, Daniel Isn't Real, that kind of stuff.
And in that visual style, it brings to life the inner turmoil that someone can experience when they're trying to do their job, and also manage what they've done in the past. And in Andrea Riseborough's character's case, that's carrying around the death that you caused. And she also has a family life, and you literally get to see all of that kind of melding together with that visual style. And I think it plays together really well.
I think the visual storytelling is fantastic. That I don't have a problem with. Yes, like when Riseborough does the transference into Abbott, and you have that melt away scene where first you see Andrea Riseborough and this like it's like a black backdrop. And you imagine it as she's made of chocolate, and there's a hairdryer blowing on her, and she just slowly melts away. And then like it plays back in reverse. So you pretend it's being built back up and it comes back as Abbott's body. That kind of stuff is amazing. That's why I like this film. That's why I will support it and say like, go watch it, because the visual storytelling is fantastic. Where I think he gets lost is by staying too heavily into the visual storytelling. I'm totally getting that he shows all the things that you said. It's all there. I just think it gets a little muddied by not kind of dropping little lines here and there from the characters to at least give a little knowledge into the backstory, into the history, into all these other things, instead of making you do the work. I've seen films that do it better. I just think this one struggles a little bit with that. A little bit. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I like the movie, but
I understand what you mean, especially as someone who is a bit of a backstory lore junkie. I see an interesting ability and piece of technology like this, and I want to know everything. I want to know who created it. I wanted to know how Jennifer Jason Leigh and you don't know. But the thing is, I still feel like as an individual standalone movie, it is a full, very complete story. And it's not just a story about a cool technology. It is a highly intriguing character study. But the thing is, even though I wanted that information, I didn't need it. And I think because I didn't get it, it made Possessor stay in my mind far longer than had they given me all that backstory. And I feel like omitting that backstory from the organization perspective was smart. And I also think certain question marks about character behavior was also smart, because it is supposed to be a very engaging and even interactive experience of assessing what someone's been through, what they're going through, and what drives them to make particular decisions and what causes them to lose control. So for all of those reasons, even though I wanted answers to all of my specific plotty questions, I was totally cool with not getting them.
And that's why I liked it. I always get here a little late, and it's always the middle of Matt not liking something. I like Possessor. I'm saying I like Possessor. I'm just saying I don't love it. And I'm just saying, in the hierarchy of all these movies that play in these worlds that they create, and you just have to be in the moment and you can't think about anything else. Mandy, Daniel Isn't Real, Under the Skin. I'm like, I love Mandy. I hate Under the Skin. I don't like Daniel Isn't Real. So I can't explain the hierarchy of all these like unknown films and why I like some and why I don't. Possessor is tighter. It's only about I think it's like 90 minutes. No, it's 100 minutes. It's 100 minutes.
45.
But it's like playing The Sims and Hitman at the same time. And like, that's cool. And I like that. And you can play in that world and that's fun. But it just comes up a little short. And then also for me, the ending that I won't say anything about kind of just, it's a good ending, but it's that bleakness for bleakness sake. And I'm just kind of like,
no, it's not though. It's not. Oh my God. I want to talk about spoilers so badly. I don't
talk about spoilers later.
I will tell you, I don't think I could imagine a better ending for this movie that would have been
It works.
A more intriguing and fuller conclusion for that character.
I mean, I'll remember that ending.
Into this. I'll never forget that.
I'll never forget that ending. I'll never forget that ending.
I don't want to put more of a I do want to put more of a heavy emphasis on how good these performances are. I mean, Christopher Abbott and Andrea Riseborough are fantastic in everything I've seen them in. And even when the movie isn't at their level overall, the two of them always deliver. And this is no different. And I'm teetering on calling this one of Christopher Abbott's best performances. He is, it's jaw-dropping what he needs to go through to complete this role. And I just cannot applaud the two of them enough for their work in this.
Yeah, when they get to be in the brain world, we'll call it, and like two humans fighting over one body, Abbott and Riseborough are so on their game. And I think,
so good.
I think Abbott gives the better role. And I think my favorite role of his is still Piercing. If you saw Piercing, I freaking love what he does with that. And when he's given darker material and when he's given these roles where he is so out of control and just kind of reacting to things around him he can't comprehend, he blows the doors off. Yes, acting is phenomenal. Again, another thing that makes it up here when, I don't know, Under the Skin is down here for me. I get hung up in all these, and I'm just like, it's hard to like rank them and stuff like that. But Possessor works. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't work.
All right. It's Dewey time. Dewey does a movie scale out of 5. What are you giving it?
Can I do halves? I could do like half stars, right? Yeah, solid 3.5.
Oh, all right. We're not that far off. I'm going with 4 Deweys out of 5 on the Dewey does a movie scale. I really got caught up in this whole world that he built, and it's difficult to do this with me and with my taste, but I did very much appreciate the meld of answers I was given and the answers that I wasn't given. And it's letting me play in that world even after the fact. And that is sitting with me really well right now. This is actually in my notes too, and I missed it. But everybody out there needs to know that the only reason you got a Possessor review tonight is because Ian Wilder is a dedicated Patreon subscriber. Ian is hands down the coolest. He knows his shit with horror, and it is so much fun talking horror movies with him. So Ian, that Possessor review was for you.